Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be reviewing the Ravel rounded sofa. It's rounded on the front and rather angled on the back. Very comfortable and very convenient. Let's dive in. The available compositions are made up with three pieces. We have the main piece, which is this one in the back. It's 230 wide and it has a varying depth because on one side it's 122, in this case it's the right side here, and on the opposite side it is 95 centimeters. Then we have this element, the peninsula, which can be attached to the main element on the side where the depth is lower, or on the side where the sofa is deeper. In this case here in the studio we have it towards the left, but there's the opposite element, and by choosing I can choose whether I want this curve on the right or on the left on the main element, and once I've chosen this aspect, I can decide whether the peninsula will be on the left or on the right. So we have overall 4 compositions available, 2 left and 2 right. This one that we see here is 265 by 209. If we had chosen a peninsula to be attached, to be placed against the deeper element, then we would have a different setting with an overall dimension of 230 width and 240 depth. In this case, it would be the two sides of the sofa would be very similar in dimension, and it creates an even cozier setting. Then we have the poof. The poof is elliptical in shape, and of course it can be used as any other ottoman because I can sit onto it and have a conversation with my guests. But it has a shape that perfectly fits in the curve with the curves of the sofa. And by doing this, I create a single huge seat, which is perfect for relax and quality time with your family and friends. So let's discuss about its comfort features. It has a wooden structure with elastic bands underneath the cushions to give elasticity. It has high density foam on the seats. It's density 30, while the backs are softer and the density 25 and 20 is used. I can tell you that it gives a firm support, and this is especially correct once you consider that you can have such a huge single seat by placing the ottoman in the middle, because when you have this sort of setting, you don't normally sit like as I'm sitting right now, but you normally, without your shoes, you normally rest completely relaxed with your feet. You sit in creative positions, and with this sort of use, it's correct not to have a sofa to be too soft, otherwise you would sink in when you sit in certain different ways. I can tell you that overall the depth of the seat is quite, the seat is quite deep, but it varies, so you cannot rely on a single data to tell you it's 55, it's 60, because for example, here in this place especially, it is much deeper than here, and so if I place my bottom towards the front, here I have a certain feeling when going back with my shoulders, while here, for example, I can move forward and still have a great support, and I can imagine now resting my legs on the ottoman, so it's very comfortable and very cozy for the family. As we said at the beginning of the video, the Ravel sofa is rounded on the front and rather angled in the back. These sort of sofas are, of course, you can place them against the wall, but they fit very well when you place them in the middle of the room, because they look nice, they look good even from the back, not only from the front. In this case, you can see how the front is completely curved, but here we have a straight side, then it's probably something like a 30-degree angle, and then a straight side, and then another angle, and a straight side, and so on. So you can place it against the wall or in the middle of the room. When you are considering a rounded sofa, it's the same if it's a model which is rounded in the back or this sort of model which is square angled in the back. The best thing to do is to draw your room with a 120 scale, and then through our website you can print the shapes and of the different elements. Okay, if you print them directly from the website, you will have 120 little shapes to be cut. You can cut it with your scissors, and then you can place it on top of the floor plan that you have prepared beforehand. And by doing this, you can actually see how it fits. And one could say, well, but I just need to check dimensions and I can tell if it fits or not. It is true in some ways. This is what a designer do, but with this sort of shapes, you don't necessarily have to position a sofa to be parallel to a certain wall, and so when you place the paper that you have cut on top of a room plan, you can turn it, you can tilt it a bit so that you can find the perfect fit for your room. Let's talk about the back cushions. So in every composition you have as a standard the back cushions, and on a corner composition you have 7 of them. Among these you have 3 of the cushions which are rectangular, 1, 2 and 3, and then you have 4 which have a squared shape, which is 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are scatter cushions, which are an accessory, and you can get them or not, or you can get them from us or from any other source, because they are of course decorative cushions. In this case we thought that a rounded shape could fit well with the sofa. Let's talk about how you match the colors of the fabrics. The Ravel sofa is available in fabric and in faux leather. It's not available in natural leather, and it works very well. As most of rounded sofas, it works very well with 2 colors. And you have very much freedom, because, for example, you can choose the color of the structure that here we see in this dark, warm pink. You can choose the color for the seats. You can choose the color for the square cushions and the color for the rectangular cushions. So you can get up to 4 colors. I don't suggest to pursue that route, because it would be quite difficult to coordinate properly everything. But for example, I can tell you that I've already seen quite a few Ravels in 3 colors, and they look, you see it here already, 1, 2, 3, and they look amazing. The 2 most popular ways, those are the ways that I like in the way of coordinating these fabrics, is as we see it here, so that we have color 1 on the structure, and color 2 on seats and back cushions. Or another different approach would be that we have color 1 on the structure and on the seats, and color 2 on the back cushions. That works very well as well. The cover of the Ravel sofa is completely removable, so you can easily detach it and wash it, and depending on the fabric that you choose, it could be brought to the dry cleaning or be washed in your home in the washing machine. We said that it's a sofa for the family, it's a sofa to enjoy your relaxed moments, it's a sofa to be used, and for this reason I think it's important to have a very practical fabric. You can mount any fabric of our collection on this sofa, but in this case we chose the Tobago fabric, which is a new one. Its texture is, I can say it's a fairly neutral and simple texture, okay, with slight shades which appear onto the main color, but its main feature is that it's very resistant. It has a very high martindale test with 60,000 cycles. It is machine washable. It has anti-stain properties, and thus it's perfect for a family situation, or even for a single, when you really want to enjoy and use your sofa without getting too worried about, oh, I could spill some wine, or my kid probably is using a pencil onto the sofa. This is very practical. We see that here we have the complete collection of colors, okay? And it has interesting shades. I do agree that if you get it white, it's probably less practical than what I've just advertised on other colors, but on any other colors, even the lighter ones, I find it very practical. And you can realize the type of match that we have done here, and you can find out the colors that we've used. So we've come to the end of today's product review of the Ravel rounded sofa. I hope that you liked it, and please consider subscribing to the channel because it really helps us, and see you next time. Bye bye!